Hey everyone, I'm Breanna from Boom, and welcome to Boom Chat. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Audra Winslow, the creator, writer, and illustrator of the new middle grade original graphic novel, Joe and Russ. At first, Joe and Russ don't realize how much they have in common. She's a middle schooler who's constantly bullied, and he's a high schooler in a rock band. But when a mysterious one eyed cat brings the two of them together, they quickly learn they're both outcasts trying to figure out what they really want from life in a world where the odds are stacked against them. It's only by becoming friends they discover who they are, who they want to be, and what it takes for every one of us to find our own happiness. Oh my gosh, Audra, this is the perfect story for anyone who feels like they don't quite fit in, no matter how old they are. It totally resonated with me, and I'm this many ages. What was the inspiration behind it, and why did you feel that it was important to tell this story?
So this story, when I was in the process of sort of developing it, I was calling it my middle school redemption story, where it's very much sort of based off of sort of the trials and loneliness I went through as a middle schooler. And it's also Joe and Russ themselves are based off of me and my best friend. And so it's sort of like, and I met my best friend when I was 20, and it was just like, oh, what if we met sooner in my life when, it would have been nice to have this friendship. So that's sort of the whole basis of the story, was just me rewriting my middle school years essentially.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so cute. I should do that. Like, I also had a terrible middle school time. It's like kids are mean, Like, what in the world? But this story that you wrote, like, really just shows what can happen when you just show somebody kindness. Like, kindness above everything. Like, I love it. What other lessons do you hope that younger kids will take away from this?
I hope that it's also a lot of being true to yourself, and sort of, I also want there to be sort of kids sort of explore their interests and try to find stuff that, because that's sort of like how you figure out what you are interested in, and you can keep being true to yourself essentially.
I love that. And there's so many kids that are so scared of like what other people might think, or, they're like, well, I don't know. I don't have any experience in this. And this is such a great thing for them to read to like help boost that bravery to go try that new thing. And just, even if it, doesn't work out the way you want, like just do it. And I love that that message like totally came through, because it was so cute and wholesome how like Russ is just so supportive of Joe. And it's wonderful. I love it. It's just so wholesome. You said that this is your redemption story, and it's about sort of how you met your best friend. Like, what if you and your best friend met when you were younger? So, obviously, are any of these designs based on people that you know?
The physical designs aren't really based off of anyone. Sort of small little things are probably brought in, like the jacket that Joe wears almost throughout the whole story was the actual jacket I would wear all the time in middle school. Um, some of the like I remember Russ's mom is actually 100% based off of a friend of mine that I used to work at Office Depot with. But otherwise, it's sort of like it's just like small little tidbits are kind of referenced in there. What's mainly sort of based from my real life is sort of the locations in the story, like the junkyard and the high school and such.
Oh my goodness, tell me more about that. What about the junkyard?
Yeah, so me and my dad fix our own cars. And we will go to junkyards to pull parts and such. And so that junkyard is sort of a mix and match of all the sort of junkyards we go to in the Orlando area. And then the high school also, like I said, there was a scene where they go to a lake behind the high school, and it's behind like a baseball field, and that's just 100% the layout of our high school.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Okay, so you said that you work on cars with your dad. What's your favorite car that you've ever worked on with your dad?
Um, We have, like, an old Volkswagen that's kinda fun to work on. It's like a '73 Beetle. The one I like working on the most, though, is just my truck. I just have, like, a 2000 S10, and it's just nice to work on it.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. My dad has this old Porsche that he's constantly tinkering on. It's an 83 911, and he's just like, the windows don't work, and it's got no airbags, and he's constantly looking for specific parts for it. So I don't know. I might hit you up and see if you have any connects in the LA
Sure.
area, if you know about any junkyards you should check out here. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. And so did your dad teach you a whole bunch of mechanics, or like how did you learn about all of that?
Sort of my dad is he was sort of a self-taught mechanic. He grew up completely working on his own car. He used to do like street racing in like the 70s. Um and so he's just always been a do-it-yourself person. And so growing up, it was always a lot of helping him out with whatever projects he's trying to do. And so it sort of became my life of I also became a do-it-yourself person. We also YouTube videos help a lot. There's a lot of people that are helping other people by just filming themselves fixing things.
That is so cool. I love this little tidbit. Oh my gosh, that's so great. Okay. So, drawing wise, you also illustrated this.
Mhm.
What mediums do you like to work in when you're drawing? Like, I'm sure, digital, but do you ever do any actual like pen and paper, pencils, whatever? I don't know. Tell me what you do.
Joe and Russ was actually all the line art was all done traditionally. I Even though I don't really have a preference between like I don't think like traditional drawing is better than digital drawing, but I personally just like the feeling of like a metal nib scratching on paper. It's just like that tactile feeling is like the main reason why I pick traditional over digital drawing. But yeah, Joe and Russ was completely drawn with G in the G nib with dipping and then just blue line printed out on Bristol paper.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. You're so talented, and they're all so cute characters. And I just love like it's got like this lovely scratchy feeling to it that I really love when I see art like that. Because I'm like I'm very feathery whenever I try to sketch whatever. It's not about me, but I really love that like feathery feeling because it really feels like somebody like was really working on. I don't know. I like it when
Mhm.
things are perfectly imperfect, if that makes sense. And I
Yeah.
hope you take that as a compliment.
No, I do, I
Um,
do.
okay, good. Okay, so with all of these characters, there are also these very important kitty characters, and there are all these wonderful cats that Joe and Russ interact with. I have to ask, which cat's your favorite?
I'm definitely gonna say the mother cat that, whose also the name is Joe. Just like I just love a big, large feral cat with one eye.
I love that. Did you have a lot of interactions with feral cats? Like, do you?
Yeah, we actually, we kind of feed the neighborhood strays. It started off with like, it starts off with one cat that you feed outside and then like just more accumulate over time. So yeah, I call myself a cat wrangler because I'm like able to like catch cats really well. But yeah, right now we have 4 cats. Only one of them we actually adopted. The other 3 showed up.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so when we're done filming this, I'm gonna need to ask you about some cat wrangling because I've got my own feral cat that's been hanging around. So I need your tips.
All right.
Okay, and so then in my research, I found that you also work on crochet projects. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a very recent hobby. It's been a lot of actually accessories for said cats. Right now, I'm working on a cushion that's shaped like a couch for my cats.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, when you're done with that, please post that to social media because I want to know how this progress goes because I love that you also do crochet projects. I can't stay on one project to keep my attention for the life of me. So well done you. I really love that. Are you working on any other crochet projects or is it just the couch?
It's just the couch right now.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I can't wait to see how that turns out. All right. Well, Audra, thank you so much for your time today. It has been so lovely chatting with you. And for those of you watching at home, be sure to pick up a copy of Joe and Russ, available now wherever books are sold.